I started, so whenever you're ready, we can.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Are you
fine.
ready?
Yeah.
Why do you do swing music?
Because I think you listen to a lot of different things, and I still do listen to a lot of different types of music. But I think the feel of swing and that big band feel especially is something that really can't be replaced by anything else. Like you'll listen or you'll watch people listen to this kind of music and their foot will tap and you'll see their bodies start to move and they'll just react. And that's how I react to it. It makes me feel something. And I think in any song that you are going to try and perform, you have to feel the music and you can't not feel swing music.
Did you never dream of becoming a big rock star or pop star like the Robbie Williams of the 2010s?
My brother plays electric guitar. He not professionally, but he was always listening to things like Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, those kind of guys, and that's how I got kind of into music. So obviously, I wanted to play guitar and I wanted to be like him, but I was never really as technical. I mean, I could play the chords and I could get around the songs eventually, but I mean, it was always something more of a hobby rather than wanting to be a rock star. And then I just sang the songs that I couldn't quite play. I would sing the songs I enjoyed, and people said you have a nice voice. You should do something with it. But I mean, like I said, that kind of music and those songs, they're timeless. And I mean, obviously rock star could be cool, but it's not me. I'm not cool enough to be a rock star.
Well, Frank Sinatra was a bigger rock star than any other rock star.
Well, yeah. That was pop music back then, and now it's American standards. But he was singing pop music of his time, so maybe it's possible.
Well, beside of singing old songs, you do new songs as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find it hard or difficult to find the idiom of swing nowadays?
With regards to new songs made to pop songs, or
yeah.
I think it depends. I think a lot of people try and turn something that doesn't really swing into kind of that swing jazz kind of song, and I don't think every song fits. I think a lot of people try and make it fit, but it just sometimes comes across as awkward and slightly false. And I think a song has to have a certain kind of feel for it to actually work in that genre. I think there's a lot of good pop music and there's a lot of great jazz songs, but whether the two should always be blended, I think is sometimes wrong.
Could you explain what does it make to make a good swing song, a new swing song?
New swing song.
What do you mean by this feeling? How could you explain this feeling?
Sorry,
fine.
I think the feeling of a good swing song, it has to bounce. I mean, if it swings, it's really got to swing. It's got to be something that literally you feel that the beats, they push you along. You're kind of you're literally swinging through the tune. I think some songs are applied with that kind of feel, but I don't think that the melodies work well with that kind of swing feel, and I don't think sometimes the kind of the actual phrasing is always correct. I think people sometimes just try and go, oh, this is a great pop tune, this would work as a jazz song, anything would work. Well, it doesn't, I don't think. I think it has to have the right feel and the right kind of sentiment to fit in that swing feel.
Would you look at yourself more like a up-tempo crooner or a balladier?
I love a melancholy song. So if it's sad, I mean, on the first record there was a song by Paul Simon, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. On this record, there's a lot of songs that are quite reflective and quite, they're ballads and they are quite sad, or songs about being in or out of love. And I think that's secretly something I really quite enjoy. But in the same respect, you can't always have one, on kind of mass feel. I think it needs light and shade, and that's why some of the songs are swing and they're upbeat and they're quite light, and the sentiment is much more romanticized, whereas some of the other songs are perhaps a little sad and ballading. but it's listening from different types of music, from people like obviously Sinatra and Tony Bennett to Chet Baker, who always has a much more kind of sympathetic, kind of sad sound to when he sings. I think it's something that's quite interesting.
But Chet Baker wasn't swinging.
No, but he was ballading.
He was cool.
he was cool, but he often sang a sad song.
Really sad songs.
Yeah, really sad songs, you know? And I think both of those things can move people. And the only way really I would cover a song is if it moves me. Because I think if it doesn't, then there's no point singing it. Because if I don't believe it, then, you know.
What moved you in The Look of Love?
Well, come on. I mean, the lyrics are beautiful. The melody, the tunes by Burt Bacharach and Hal David are just, there's an immense body of work there. It's like the Stevie Wonder kind of catalogue. There's so much songs to choose from that are all quite beautiful in their own respects. But I toured the UK with Dionne Warwick a few years ago, and they're not really songs that I'd listened to them, I'd heard them, but I hadn't really listened, you know. Especially with listening to Dionne Warwick every night sing these tunes, especially The Look of Love, and A House Is Not a Home. It was just quite magical, and the more I listened, the more I kind of felt, you know what this person is talking about, you know what their feeling of love is. That one is very much a kind of song about it being enigmatic, and they want you so much that this look is it, you know. The second I see you have that feeling. Whereas obviously in a completely different respect, but again by the same songwriter, A House Is Not a Home is you know, you're on the way out of love and you don't want it to stop. But I think it's something people can relate to. Both songs are, and I definitely related to them.
Especially if you combine The Look of Love with A Part-Time Lover.
Yeah. I mean, you know, there's so many songs about love. I think people find it easier to write about love because everybody experiences it at some point, you know?
Don't you think? I always thought that there are more songs about lost love than found love.
That's because everybody has a melancholy moment. Like, I mean, look at Adele, you know, she's making a fortune about being sad and out of love. But I think that lost love sentiment is almost easier. I think maybe it's because when you're out of love, you're thinking about it. Whereas when you're in love, you're just in love, you know? And you don't think because you love the person.
I was just curious because I can't stand the song anyway.
Which one?
Look of Love.
No?
No. I don't like the melody.
No.
But that's me.
Know, that's fine, yeah.
I'm more on the real melancholy side.
Yeah,
so
you're really sad.
The really sad songs. The blues.
You don't like love, that's what it is.
Oh, I like love, but I think I
don't like singing about
lost
it.
love more.
Yeah. Maybe we share a passion for it.
So 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover is a wonderful song.
A great song.
It's just, maybe it's because I don't like Burt Bacharach that much.
Okay. But you know, everyone's opinion.
It's not my
is,
word.
Yeah.
It's not my feelings. So
no.
But who cares about what I feel?
But then I think the delivery of a tune can be completely different. You might not like maybe a Dusty Springfield version of The Look of Love, or the Luther Vandross version of A House Is Not a Home.
I don't like the melody.
Okay.
Whoever
just The Look of Love, or any Burt Bacharach tune.
No, just The Look of Love.
Okay.
It's just the melody.
Which is fine because there's two on the album, so you can choose the other one. It's okay.
If I don't like a song, doesn't mean I won't play it.
No.
Because that's not my it's my decision which song to play, but I'm not the guy who says, no, I don't like that song, I won't play it, because I know hundreds and millions or thousands of other people would love it.
Yeah.
So
it's the same of a lot of music. Like there's a lot of things that some of the musicians I work with they don't really like, but obviously they appreciate that other people would. And I think it's just the sort of give and take of life, and you know everyone's opinion is different. Doesn't mean it's right or it's wrong, but everyone has different tastes and different flavors of what they appreciate.
Would you love to do an album like the old guys did, like Big Joe Turner and the Big Band and the Blues?
The blues side does appeal to me. I mean, that kind of feel is a bit more grittier. I kind of like that sort of edginess to it. And some of the songs on the record, they borderline on that. Then obviously they're not that. But I mean, it's appealing, but I think that this vein of music, this feel presently is kind of where I am at. I think the first record was very much a kind of down the line sort of much more of a jazz record. This record is perhaps slightly more poppy and slightly more sort of cinematic and orchestral. It's a bit more kind of I don't really know the best word sometimes. I kind of know how I feel about it, but it's not all completely jazz. It's not all pop, but it's kind of veering towards that sort of grittier side of what I want to do, and maybe a blues direction is something that could happen. Yeah, definitely.
If you had the chance, would you have liked to play with Duke Ellington or Count Basie, or just fan with you've got a fabulous backup? So.
Yeah, I mean, they're incredible, the guys on the record. But I was lucky enough to work with the Basie band in Macau, in China, last Christmas, and some of the guys in the band had played these charts for Sinatra, and like we did a couple of the arrangements, the kind of the Billy May arrangements, or of those big band standards, and the feel of singing those songs and those arrangements, especially with some guys that have played them, was really quite special. I mean, they were rock stars, I suppose, if you want to look at it like that. And singing with a big band is just phenomenal. It's a feeling really like nothing else. It's the same with an orchestra. Yeah, I think when you have that many musicians come together in a unified sense, especially when they're backing me as a vocalist, it's really quite special.
But what do you prefer? Prefer the big band, or do you prefer the small band?
I think it depends.
When you're on tour, you can't come along with a 20-piece big band.
Well, it would be lovely to do that.
Would cost an awful lot of money.
I think, I'm happy to work in either sense. I think it's a very different feel. When you're on stage with a big band, you obviously have, like I said, you have that many people united behind you. Really, it sort of pushes you to go up to the next level and really kind of deliver what essentially is more of a show than a kind of intimate concert that you would get with a band. So I think the two both have aspects that I enjoy. I mean, working with the smaller band or the trio or the quartet, for example, in a smaller venue is nice because your audience is immediately more involved. You're closer to them, and it's not kind of like you're singing at them. I think that maybe that sometimes that's where a singer could go wrong. But with a smaller venue, you're kind of singing with them or for them, and you're close, and you can see their reaction, you can see their faces. You don't have the lights and the kind of the scope of a big theatre venue where it's perhaps a bit less personal. But it's still enjoyable to sing with the big band, obviously. But I enjoy the small band as well.
Don't you feel, let's say, more free with a small band because you and the guys in the band can react much faster than a big band could if you decide to do an extra kick in it? And,
I think there's always something more interesting about working with a smaller band because you do have that flexibility to do that. Obviously, with such a large group of musicians in a big band, you're kind of forced to stick to the charts and the arrangements. You can't really mess up or make mistakes without being noticeable, which I've never done, obviously. But with a smaller band, you can kind of cover each other. You can kind of look out for each other because you all know what should be going on. And if you want to do something different, you have the opportunity to do it, which again is nice. Again, though, I can't negate either because the big band side is, when you hear that big band really kind of hit what they're kind of hitting and making, when it's all unified and together and they're really tight and the band just is swinging, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. But it's helpful with a smaller band when I miss a lyric or a cue and forget to come in.
We'll see in November, won't we?
No. By November it'd be perfect.
No, but that's with a smaller band.
That is with a smaller band in November.
Will it be with a quartet or a quintet?
With it will be a quintet, but I'm with a quartet. So yeah.
Are you already in rehearsals?
Well, we are. We've. When does this go out?
This? Oh, you can. It's way before.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to talk about next week, but can I do that? Or
yeah.
We've started the launch for the record in the UK. So we've got a big band show in London, and then a slightly smaller version of the big band in Manchester, my hometown, when the album comes out. So the first thing we're going to work on is those kind of sides of the show, which obviously are very different concepts than the smaller band shows. But the set will be largely the same. It'll be the songs from the new album, some of the tunes from the old record, but in a much more intimate, reduced.
So will we hear the 50 ways of leaving your life?
Yeah, I think you'll hear 50 ways. Yeah.
As you mentioned, just Manchester, your hometown. You're not going to sing Hair, are you?
Sing
Manchester, England, which is a song from the musical Hair.
Manchester, England is this? I've never heard this song. I haven't heard it.
I just know the German version. It's Manchester lies in England. Da 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 da.
Really?
Da, da.
I haven't heard this tune. I've never heard it.
Should listen to Hair, Manchester, England.
I'll have to check it out.
Could you imagine doing Beatles songs?
We do some Beatles songs in the live set. There's a tune that was gonna, well, one is a Beatles tune, one's a John Lennon song, that are in the live set, and they probably will be in the live set in November. We do "Baby You Can Drive My Car."
Ringo Starr, was it?
Yeah, which I think it's cool to play some British tunes that, well, when you're not in Britain. I mean, Liverpool and Manchester, there's some sort of rivalry with something called football, but I don't get involved in any of that, so it's easier. But I mean, some of the tunes by the Beatles are wicked, and that is one of them. It's arranged in a very different fashion, but so that goes into the live set. We do a song, "Jealous Guy" by John Lennon, which we talked about doing for this record, but the arrangement wasn't quite what we wanted it to be, and there was some things that we needed to change. And I think, that we're not going to not do it, but it just wasn't right for this record. Or maybe it was. It's a sad melody. You would have loved it.
Listening to well, in Germany, let's say it that way, there was a time when German guys were trying to sing swing. I said trying to sing swing. They even tried to make up the Red Pack.
Okay.
Unfortunately. But it seemed that over here, so across the channel, there's a big audience for that kind of music. Do you find a difference between singing in Britain and singing in the rest of Europe?
I think there is. I would. Well, we won't speak about Brexit, but
no, we won't.
I mean, that's not my.
I like it. I like it.
You really?
Yeah, it makes me cheaper.
Yeah, it's fine for you. My euros don't go anywhere. I think it's kind of. It is different. It is different in the European kind of mainland. You guys, you all seem very. I've said this before. I think you all seem very proud of the art, and which we are in England, obviously, of art and music and culture. But I think it's almost a willingness to do so well. Like, you'll come on stage here and you have that, kind of like welcoming feel. Like, everybody here, the audience, it's almost like they will you to put on a good show, which is such a lovely feeling. Like, it almost like, before you've even made any effort, they already appreciate you for being here and singing. And I suppose it is the same in Britain to an extent, but I think they have a kind of, we're a bit more reserved. I think we're in a nation of people that are quite, or we're taught to be quite modest. So it's kind of like, oh, go on, let me hear you first. Okay, yeah, I appreciate it now. So sometimes, not all the time, because I mean, we can let our hair down every now and again, but I think over here it's just you just seem much more kind of up for the show and having and enjoying it and listening to something or watching something.
What about Ireland?
Ireland, I've never played there, so so I don't know.
Okay, cut. Yeah, one question I always ask usually at the end of the interview is. You do a lot of interviews. You did a lot of interviews. Was there a question you would have liked to answer, but nobody has ever asked you?
I don't know. This is tricky. This is a tricky question. It's not this question. A question that you'd like to be asked.
Or a story you always wanted
maybe
to tell,
like,
but nobody gave
maybe
you
a
the
question.
chance.
Maybe like, what would I say to other people who want to do something like this? Perhaps, which is do it. Like I never thought this would be a career I could choose. I never thought like singing would be something that I could make a living from. And I think there's a lot of people who have things that they love that they don't do. And be it because it's self-confidence or because somebody's once said no. And I think, I never thought I could do this, not because anybody told me no, just because I didn't believe I could do it. And now, I'm surrounded by some incredibly talented musicians who work with the real like top guys across the UK and all over the world. And to have those guys say you're good kind of justifies what I do. And I love it. And it's fun. I get to travel. I get to sing. I get to entertain people. And I think if other people want to do something that they love, they should go for it.
No one just came up my mind.
No, that was your last question.
Yeah, it was. We can't cut this.
No, it's
anyway,
fine. No, it's all right.
What is your honest opinion about Robbie Williams singing Sinatra?
My honest opinion of Robbie Williams.
I don't have to go on.
Oh, no.
It doesn't have to go
Yeah,
on.
no, well, it's fine. My honest opinion of Robbie Williams singing Sinatra is that he did a very good job booking Capitol Records to record his record, and that the band sound wonderful.
Okay, thanks.
That wasn't bad, was it?
That was very clever, very diplomatic.